Hey everyone, welcome back to The Dang Good Show. I'm your host, Christine Dang, but you can call me C Dang. Today we're diving into a topic that's incredibly relevant in our fast-paced, always-on world. Digital wellness, finding balance in a hyper-connected world. If you've been following along, you might remember episode 14, where we discussed mindful tech balancing digital life with real connections. We explored how digital lives can sometimes distract us from what truly matters, those authentic, meaningful connections with the people around us. If you haven't listened to that episode yet, I highly recommend checking it out. I'll leave a link in today's episode description so you can dive deep into it after this one. But today, we're taking things a step further. We're not just talking about balancing our digital lives. We're discussing how to achieve overall digital wellness. We'll explore what that means in today's world, how our digital habits impact our mental and emotional well-being, and most importantly, I'll share some practical steps to help you find that elusive balance in a world where we're constantly connected. So, grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and let's get into it. So let's start by painting a picture of the world we're living in today. Think about it. How many hours a day do you spend online? Whether it's for work, scrolling through social media, streaming your favorite shows, or just browsing the web, we're more connected than ever before. On one hand, it's incredible. We have the entire world at our fingertips. We can connect with people across the globe in an instant, access endless information, and entertain ourselves with just a few taps on a screen. But on the flip side, this constant connectivity can take a toll on our mental and emotional well-being. Research shows that the average adult spends over 7 hours a day staring at screens. And while some of that time is necessary, especially if you're working remotely or using technology for school, there's a growing concern about what all this screen time is doing to our minds and bodies. A study from the University of Pennsylvania found that excessive use of social media can increase feelings of loneliness and depression. We're more connected digitally, but often feel more disconnected from ourselves and the people around us. It's a paradox of our time, and it's something we need to address if we want to live happier, healthier lives. Let's revisit a concept we touched back in episode 14, the digital paradox. It's this strange phenomenon where, despite all our digital tools designed to help keep us connected, we often feel more isolated than ever. One of the reasons for this is what I like to call the scrolling trap. How many times have you picked up your phone just to check one thing? And the next thing you know, 30 minutes have passed and you've been mindlessly scrolling through social media? Yeah, we've all been there. This endless stream of content is designed to keep us engaged, but it can also keep us disconnected from the present moment and the people around us. The solution isn't to throw our phones away or disconnect from the internet entirely. That's not realistic in today's world. Instead, it's about learning how to use technology mindfully. So it serves us rather than controls us. It's about finding that balance where we can enjoy the benefits of being connected without letting it take over our lives. In episode 14, we discussed strategies like setting digital boundaries and practicing mindfulness with our tech use. Today, I want to build on that by diving deeper into how these practices can contribute to our overall digital wellness. So, what exactly is digital wellness? It's a term that's been popping up more and more as we become increasingly aware of the impact that technology has on our lives. Digital wellness is all about creating a healthy relationship with technology, using it in a way that supports our mental, emotional, and physical well-being rather than detracting from it. Digital wellness is about being intentional with our tech use. It's about making conscious choices about when or how we engage with technology rather than letting it dictate our lives. It's about recognizing when we need to unplug and take a break and knowing how to do that effectively. A key component of digital wellness is self-awareness. Being in tune with how our digital habits affect us. Are we feeling drained after spending too much time online? Are we sacrificing sleep to stay up late scrolling through social media? Are we missing out on real life connections because we're too focused on our screens? These are the kind of questions we need to ask ourselves as we navigate the digital world. Enjoying what you're hearing? Fantastic. To make sure you're always in the loop with the latest episode, just hit that subscribe button. Your support makes all the difference. And hey, this podcast thrives because of awesome listeners like you. So a big shout out for that. And of course, I'm on Instagram. Find and follow me at Christine_Dang. Lastly, looking for more information on what we discussed today? Just cruise on over to thedangoodshow.com. Click on the episode you're curious about and voila, access to the show notes. Now, without further ado, let's jump back into the show. One of the most effective ways to achieving digital wellness is by setting boundaries. Just like we set boundaries in our relationships to protect our time and energy, we need to set boundaries with our technology. Let me share a personal story here. For a long time, I used to check my phone first thing in the morning. I dive straight into emails, social media, and news before I even got out of bed. And you know what? It set the tone for the entire day. I'd feel rushed, anxious, and overwhelmed before I even had my morning coffee. So I decided to make a change. I started setting a boundary. No phone for the first hour after I wake up. Instead, I focus on my morning routine, meditation, journaling, and a quick workout. This simple change has made a world of a difference in how I start my day. I feel more centered, calm, and ready to tackle whatever comes my way. Setting boundaries isn't just about limiting screen time. It's about creating intentional spaces in your day where you're not connected to a device. It could be during meals, before bed, or during family time. These no tech zones help us reconnect with ourselves and the people around us. And they're essential for maintaining our digital wellness. So now let's talk about how to actually implement a digital detox in your life. It might sound daunting, especially if you rely on technology for work or socializing, but it doesn't have to be. Start small. Maybe it's just one day a week where you unplug from social media, or perhaps you set aside 30 minutes each evening to disconnect to do something offline. Read a book, go for a walk, or just sit quietly with your thoughts. I tried doing a digital detox by going cold turkey for a week. Let me tell you, it was tough, but it was also incredibly eye-opening. I realized how much time I was spending online and how that was affecting my mood and my energy levels. After that week, I started incorporating smaller, more manageable detoxes into my routine. A few hours here, a day there, and it made a huge difference. The key is to find what works for you. Maybe you need to take a break from certain apps, or perhaps you just need to set some limits on your screen time. Whatever it is, the goal is to give your mind and body a break from the constant stimulation of the digital world. And if you're looking for a way to start, check out the video series I made about emotional intelligence, EQ, and social awareness on my website, c-dang.com. That's c-dang.com. These topics are all about understanding yourselves and your interactions with others, and they're incredibly helpful in navigating our digital lives. The videos offer insights into how to build stronger connections and communicate more effectively, which ties perfectly into our discussion on digital wellness. One of the biggest challenges of living in a hyper-connected world is maintaining authentic connections. It's so easy to get caught up in the surface level interactions we have online, but real meaningful connections require more than just a like or a comment. As I mentioned earlier, in my family, things weren't always smooth sailing. Growing up, we struggled with communication and understanding each other. There were a lot of disagreements, and it felt like we were all speaking different languages, even though we lived under the same roof. But as we all grew older, something shifted. We started making an effort to really listen to each other, to understand where the other person's coming from. We learned how to communicate more effectively and to be more patient with each other. Now, our family dynamic is completely different. We get along better. We support each other, and we build a strong bond, and I cherish that. This experience taught me the importance of being your authentic self in your relationships. When you show up as your true self, flaws and all, you invite others to do the same. It creates a space where genuine connections can flourish. And in a world where so much of our interaction is digital, being authentic is more important than ever. As we look to the future, it's clear that the digital world isn't going anywhere. In fact, it's only going to become more integrated into our daily lives. But that doesn't mean we have to sacrifice our well-being for the sake of staying connected. The future of digital wellness is about finding a balance that works for each of us. It's about being mindful of how we use technology and making conscious choices that support our mental, emotional, and physical health. Companies and developers are starting to take notice too. We're seeing more tools and apps designed to help us manage our screen time, promote mindfulness, and encourage healthier tech habits. It's an exciting time, and I hope that as we move forward, we'll see a shift towards a more balanced, intentional use of technology. But at the end of the day, it's up to each of us to take control of our digital lives. It's about making choices that align with our values and well-being, and not being afraid to unplug when we need to. So there you have it, folks. Digital wellness, finding balance in a hyper-connected world. I hope this episode has given you some food for thought and practical tips to start cultivating your own digital wellness. Remember, it's not about cutting out technology completely. It's about finding a balance that works for you, whether it's setting boundaries, doing a digital detox, or just being more mindful of how you use your devices. Every little bit helps. If you want to dive deeper into these topics, don't forget to check out episode 14, Mindful Tech, Balancing Digital Life with Real Connections. And be sure to visit my website, c-dang.com, for more resources, including video series on emotional intelligence and social awareness. Thank you for tuning in to The Dang Good Show. As always, stay mindful, stay balanced, and most importantly, stay dang good. Until next time, this is C-Dang signing out. Thank you for joining us on The Dang Good Show. Remember to swing by our website, thedangoodshow.com, where you can easily subscribe on platforms like Apple, Google, and Spotify to keep up with our latest episodes. Loved what you heard today? A thumbs up and a positive review on your favorite listening platform would be incredibly appreciated. And if our show struck a chord with you, sharing it with just one friend can help our community grow and thrive. Thanks once more for lending your ears to me on The Dang Good Show. Until we meet again, take care and goodbye.